Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. I very much appreciate your heartfelt story and message, which is true for all of us. And thank you as well, Governor. I also want to thank Christina and the entire team here at Green Line Apothecary. Pharmacists have been invaluable partners for us throughout this pandemic and with public health and all the work that we do overall together. Pharmacists have been testing patients, have been counseling patients, and administering some of the first shots of COVID-19 vaccine in Rhode Island to our most vulnerable Rhode Islanders, whether in nursing homes or in our communities hardest hit. For some people, a pharmacy is the most familiar healthcare setting. That's welcoming, it smells great as it does in here. You trust your pharmacy, you trust your pharmacist. That's why we're so excited to hear from Christina today and why the ongoing support of pharmacists throughout Rhode Island is so important for our vaccination campaign and for all the work we do together for public health overall. And, of course, along those lines, I'm excited to also recognize and thank Judy Diaz and all of our fantastic school nurse teachers. In a normal year, so to speak, school nurse teachers do so much for their school communities. And in the last 2 years, that has exponentially increased. Our school nurse teachers have gone above and beyond. You are among the unsung heroes of the success we've had in Rhode Island, particularly when it comes to vaccinations and being able to do in-person learning in our schools. As the governor mentioned, we were very excited to share the FDA announcement earlier this week about full approval for the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for people 16 and older. This vaccine already went through a rigorous scientific review process when it was initially authorized for use in December. Now, we have a second, many months long, exceedingly careful medical and scientific analysis confirming that this vaccine is effective and safe, along with millions of individuals who have been vaccinated effectively and safely. That's critical information to take with you because we've heard from a lot of people who said they wanted to wait until FDA approval came through. We're confident in now being able to tell you that has happened and our message is clear. Please go get your COVID-19 vaccine today, immediately. It's the best way to avoid severe illness because of COVID-19 and to avoid a trip to the hospital, particularly with the Delta strain that we know is so much more contagious and easily transmissible. Think about that. You can almost reduce the chances of being hospitalized because of COVID-19 if you get vaccinated to almost 0%. That's because 0.02% of people who are fully vaccinated have ever ended up in the hospital associated with COVID-19. When we talk about the vaccine, it is extremely effective in keeping people out of the hospital and keeping people alive. And when you think about your loved ones, you think about the story that Lieutenant Governor shared, that's what it's all about, protecting those that you love around you. If you're young and healthy and you're thinking about how this is relevant to you, the vaccine helps you avoid getting COVID-19 to begin with, meaning that it will help prevent you from spreading it to someone you love who is a little more vulnerable, perhaps, whether they are younger or older. It's so critical. We know vaccinations is one of the more important tools that we have in our toolbox. Please go access it today. Get vaccinated today. Building on that, separately, I want to take a moment to speak to our Rhode Island businesses. First, thank you. I join with Secretary Pryor and the governor in thanking you. Your cooperation over the last year with adhering to business mitigation requirements so that you can slow the transmission of COVID-19 and continue to stay open through this latter time, all of that has been phenomenal. The partnership that we have is a critical one. We've always looked at it from a public health standpoint, that the economic health is an equally important part of our overall public health, and we want to keep the partnership there going. We want to make sure that businesses throughout the state know what steps they can take to help stop the spread, to protect their families, and to maintain, if not strengthen, their businesses during this time. From a public health perspective, we talk about it all the time. We share it amongst our experts locally and nationally. There are 4 critical areas where businesses can take action, and we want to build on that with you. We want to support you with that. It's being able to require indoor masking, which everyone is doing here, employees and customers in every entity, statewide, the local level, business level, municipality level. It's also requiring vaccination and getting as many people vaccinated as possible, particularly your employees. We're happy to help support there, as well as customers and otherwise. Testing is another one. We've been leading the nation in testing. We have a phenomenal testing program that has been activated, also specifically to support businesses in being able to do that. And with how transmissible the Delta variant strain is of coronavirus, we absolutely want to make sure that testing remains a critical option for businesses and entities throughout the state. And the last one is ventilation. We've been able to benefit during the summer because more people are outside. The case numbers decrease. They did that last year, they did it this year, along with the fact that we have vaccinated as well as we have. But we want to make sure that businesses are prepared as we gear up for the winter. We're in New England, there's but so much you can do outside. We definitely want to push doing everything you can outdoors, but we know it's important for businesses to thrive. You need to have the adequate ventilation that's needed to be able to ensure for your customers, for your employees, that this is a safe place to continue to visit. The science shows that taking action in these top 4 areas in particular, there are a number that we talk about across public health, but to really highlight and support businesses with these top 4 areas. Policies require indoor masking, requiring vaccination, accessing our testing programs, and having adequate ventilation set up within your businesses are all the steps that are needed to help keep your case rates down. We have the data that backs that up. For example, there are studies indicating that mask wearing reduced secondary transmission of COVID-19 by 70 or 80% in some circumstances. Helping to ensure employee and customer safety also helps improve customer confidence, so our businesses can continue to thrive and stay open. That's how it's linked. That's what we want to be able to support you in building that customer confidence. We look forward to future engagement with the business community so we can continue to build tools and supports that will help keep our economy moving forward while ensuring Rhode Islanders are safe and healthy. We applaud and appreciate those businesses that have already taken action, particularly elevating those 4 areas. For example, 9 venues and performing arts organizations already set requirements for employees and guests in some of those 4 areas. We want to highlight them These are places that you can feel comfortable because you know there's a focus on indoor masking, there's a focus on vaccination and testing, and proper ventilation. Those organizations are PPAC, Veterans Memorial Auditorium, Festival Ballet Providence, GAM Theater, Island Moving Company, Rhode Island Philharmonic Orchestra and Music School, Trinity Rep Company, United Theater, and Wilbury Theater Group. At the state level, we were extremely happy and excited to see these organizations take those critical steps that I'm sharing. And at the consumer level, you should be happy and relieved to know that these are safer places for you to go with your family. We want to continue to support more and more businesses and entities to follow in those footsteps. In addition to supporting Rhode Island's economy, we're also trying to do everything we can to support Rhode Island's healthcare system. Both of these steps are intricately linked. The more we can statewide do a focus on indoor masking, on vaccination, testing, and having proper ventilation, the better we can do at helping to preserve our hospital capacity. The governor shared it already. Right now, hospitals throughout Rhode Island are experiencing very high volume. This is because of many reasons. A lot of them may even be unrelated to COVID-19. It's important to know the staffing concerns that the governor shared, the fact that behavioral health is an important element that is taxing on our healthcare systems. And all of this is in advance of COVID-19 hospitalizations getting to that peak level, or even flu season starting. So we want to make sure we're doing everything we can in advance. Those 4 steps that we and all public health experts are elevating for you, for businesses, these are steps we can take together and know that it's going to have a positive impact on preserving our healthcare capacity so that when people really need to go to the hospital, the space and qualified services are there and available for them to access it. The last topic I want to briefly mention, solely because we're here and Green Line has been an excellent partner with public health over the years, is talking about mosquitoes. We've partnered in Lyme disease in the past. And so we're in a peak mosquito season right now, and peak time for mosquitoes is around sunrise and sunset. And because mosquitoes can spread many illnesses, including West Nile virus and Triple E, which is another example of why we want to make sure our hospital systems are preserved, because there are many other illnesses that are out there, make sure you have your screens on your windows and you minimize outdoor activities at sunrise and sunset times. And if you must be outside, which we definitely encourage, wear long pants and long sleeves, particularly during those sunrise and sunset times. And of course, make sure that you grab that bug spray with at least 20% DEET. You can get it at Green Line and many other businesses all throughout Rhode Island as we want to continue to support you all.